Tom.
Hey mate, how you going?
Good, mate. What's happening?
Not much.
We've got the big one, mate.
Big one?
We've pinched it off somebody.
Oh, really?
4 lines.
4 lines?
So finals football 2016 is underway. Here's a chance. Charles, he throws the dummy and goes himself and scores the first try. Oh, the crowd love it. It's 4-0 in the elimination semi-final.
Well, they had the numbers, didn't they? But Josh Charles, he had to be classy enough to get there through the big dummy and suck it in. Everybody, including myself, I must say. Everybody thought he was going to pass there. Giving the 6 more up in the grandstand here.
Oh, they're up quickly. Well, he lost the ball before he was poleaxed. Oh, now walk. Oh, Terrence couldn't quite get it on this side. Looks like they're inching their way in front of Tommy Taylor's play continues out here to Cullen. He goes himself. Great ball. They're inside the 20. Heyman throws the dummy. Still going. He'll score.
Oh, it's a beauty.
What a fantastic Bulldogs try.
Oh, that's an absolute perler. Brady Hammond there, strolling through off the ball from Mitch Cullen. And if I was an outside back or a big second rower in this Curry side, I'd be getting as close to Mitch Cullen as possible.
As we see now, Gulmere, great ball, Barker, he'll score. James is in. He knows where the try line is. He didn't get mixed up. He didn't know about the paint before, but he knew about the paint that time because he had to get the ball down before the dead ball line, and he did.
No, I agree though. White numbers on a yellow shirt, nothing's wrong.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. Here's a chance, there's a try. Fingers on a white ball. That's a try any day of the week. Great contrast. Brilliant try. They're up by 4. Marcel, he's coming through. Can they trap Walker in goal? Marcel leads the race. He got away from Marcel. Walker's down the touchline. He's outside the 20. Now he's taken the tackle, Tom. 30 metres out from his own line. Let's go touchline. Thanks to Benedict Waite Recycling. Chance if they come this side. Adams kicking, chasing for himself. Hits the post. Walker in trouble. No, he's not. He's going to get back, is he? No, he's not this time. They're going to bundle him into touch. Leading by 10. Elimination semi-final. Burgess will score! Burgess has picked up his 8th try in 2016.
Well, he's got a double. We didn't have any trouble spotting him that time.
To Gulmere. They're coming through. Holman, he was able to beat Holman. Trouble, all right. The crowd erupting. And now the Bulldogs' faithful applause. That tremendous tackle on Gulmere. Cheshire Cat, Morgan Campbell. I like it. You must be enjoying yourself in the sun. Here's a chance for Murray to enjoy himself if he can get off the ground and offload, and he does. Here's a chance. Here they come. Overlap out wide. Seagulls bashing and barging their way close, and now the Bulldogs bash and barge them into touch.
Indeed. Well, I got to tell you, the Lakes crowd, and I got to say myself as well, just had that penciled in as a try. They had added the 4 points on the scoreboard. Varka looked absolutely nailed on to score there.
Lakes United season lives on for another day. Let's go downstairs and see the reaction after this match. Getting back into the groove.
Yeah, well, this is the big talking point at the start of the week. Our back end of our games, how we've been slacking off. I was slacked off for the first game here against Macquarie. We did it last week against West, and it's probably one of the biggest things we're trying to pride ourselves on now, just the back end of the games.
What impressed you out there mostly today?
Our defence, yeah, you know, not the best to just get that last little try there, but you know, it's been missing, and everyone's going to tell you the same thing, mate, but yeah, our defensive effort I thought was really good.
Mate, good to be back in the winner's circle, especially this time of the year in finals football.
Yeah, mate, it certainly is. You know, we want to make up for, I guess, that little bit of disappointment last week, sort of losing on the ball. So when you were up against it this week, you know, and I think it was a good way to, you know, I guess, leave the Lakes fans on a good note.
What do you think the coach be most pleased about today?
Oh, mate, I think our defence. You know, we worked on a few things during the week, and yeah, I think we executed well today as well. So, but overall, I think our defence was our main go.
What's it like to play finals football here at home?
Yeah, it's good, you know. It's always good playing at home, but we got a good turnout today, and with only one team playing the first grade, no other grades here for Lakes today, so it's good that we still had a fair few supporters here.
And back with a Virgins, good win out there for the boys today.
Yeah, it was a good win. We spoke about our defence the last couple of weeks, and we just wanted to fix that, and it turned out that we did it, and it was a good job.
Mate, you've led them well around there today. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel all right.
Go number 5.
Flat at stages, but hopefully get back in the grind with all the boys, and hopefully we can be successful in this campaign.
You're on the back of one massive shot on you. How's those ribs?
It's all good, mate. It's part of the game, so that's just what it is.
Bring on next week?
Yeah, bring on next week. So it's week to week for us. We don't have a comfortable situation where we can lose a game, so I think if we just keep to our principles, we'll be right.
Yeah, you'll be right.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, mate.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter Jolly, and welcome along to finals football for the Newcastle Rugby League for 2016. Today, Sunday afternoon football, semi-final football, finals football, doesn't matter what you want to call it, it's here today on Bar TV Sports. What a clash, South Newcastle Lions hosting Western Suburbs. Let's find out what the players and the coaches had to say before today's massive clash.
I think it'll be one in the middle again, off the back of the go forward, but the backs getting in there helping out. Just it'll be a real grudge match.
It is going to be wet, so I think it's definitely going to be one up the middle. And there's no doubt West have plenty of experience in semis. I can't remember the last time they weren't in them. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a grind. But I guess if the effort's there's no reason why we can't, win it and go through versus Macquarie.
Oh, we've got to control them in the middle, mate. Like they're going to be pretty tough to beat in the middle. They always are.
West are a quality outfit and a great team. Just give them nothing, absolutely nothing. You can't afford to give them penalties, a cheap field position. We're going to be on song on the weekend, and hopefully we train well tonight and take that into the weekend.
Oh, we just have to be good across the park. Obviously, we can't turn over easy possession against West. They're a quality side. Everyone's seen glimpses of it at times through the year, but I don't think they've fully clicked yet. And hopefully they don't click against us on the weekend. They can leave it another week. Townsend Oval here in Merriweather, looking an absolute picture for today's qualifying semi-final between the South Newcastle Lions and crosstown rivals, the Western Suburbs Rosellas. And the Lions, well, aren't they on an absolutely huge, humongous roll? They have not lost a match since the 26th of June when they fell to Lakes United. However, in saying that, the Lions have clashed in that period with today's opposition, Western Suburbs. However, both sides could only hold each other to a 16-all draw. Flip the coin for Western Suburbs. It's a very similar winning streak. The Rosellas have not lost a match since June 25 when they were rolled by the Macquarie Scorpions. So Western Suburbs come into this clash today in red-hot form as well, winning their last 6 matches leading into this qualifying final. So as I said, the ground, have a look at that, an absolute treat. We have had a little bit of rain in and around Newcastle in the last 3 days, so it could be a bit soft underneath, but that wouldn't dampen, I guess, the battle ahead. Morgan Campbell in the box this afternoon, and mate, nothing like finals football being played back here at Townsend Oval. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Peter. Good to be back at Townsend Oval for the second week in a row. And isn't this a high-stakes game this afternoon? I mean, of course, a qualifying final is always a big game, but this is a real fork in the road for these teams. I mean, the winner this afternoon is one game out of the grand final. The loser this afternoon's got to go and play last year's premiers in a death match, a knockout game. So this is a huge one. South Newcastle have had a better year than I think they would have been expected to have. They lost Scott Briggs in the off-season. They lost the run at Tomato. They recovered from that. They've had a really good year. They're a good, disciplined side, and their forwards really lead them on. It's blokes like Brendan Simpson who are going to carry them on today and hope that the halves can get it done. For West, they've had a strange year, really, haven't they? I mean, they started off 5 in a row, and people were talking about them winning them all, going through the season undefeated. It felt like one of those years that West were going to steamroll everybody. They had their stutters in the rep period, and now they've hit the line pretty strongly in the last few weeks. So this is a beautiful setup today. It's going to be a crack. Yeah, it's an absolute glorious day. A bit of a breeze coming out of the south.
Temperature around 16, 17 degrees. A beautiful afternoon here in Newcastle. Well, Tom Taylor, he's back on the sideline for us this afternoon. And Tom, the locals, wow, haven't they turned out here in force today? Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Pete. Yeah, mate, it's about 16 degrees, but in the sun it feels like about 25. It's a beautiful day for rugby league. Just looking at the field today, the lines are immaculate. No confusion here today. No double ups, no nothing. The field is actually looking quite good too, with the cricket pitch being probably as soft as it's been all year. So that's going to cause no complaints from either side today. So there shouldn't be any beltings on the field.
Okay, Tom, well, thanks very much, mate. We look forward to going down to you with our broadcast sponsor in 2016. Thanks to Benedict Waste Recycling. Topbetter.com.au. We'd like to thank those guys for their association as well. And the most exotic drink in Newcastle in 2016. And I know you boys had one yesterday, Cornelia's Crumps. How good was that? I know Morgan, he loves getting his lips around a Cornelia's Crump on his way back to Cessnock.
Nothing makes me happier than getting a bit exotic, Peter. Fact.
Tom, fact for you too, mate. Raspberry, that's your flavour of the month, isn't it?
Raspberry. Why not? I'll have it. It's only a couple more days of this month before I can move on.
Well, let's go through the sides before they come out onto the field here this afternoon. Let's go through the South Newcastle Lions. They look this way. At the back is Sam Cook. On the wings is Sam McIntyre and also Jared Flanagan. The 3 and 4 is Tim Christie and Lewis Schneider. Willie Hedder in 6th, leading point scorer in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Rex Johnson, he'll be at the number 7 jersey, the halfback. The captain coach is Todd Hurrell. He'll hand the reins over to Ben Cross next year to be able to coach the South Newcastle Lions. The 12th is Jake Lawrence, Ben Roos in 11, Brendan Simpson in 10, Luke Higgins actually not around. Oh yeah, he's on the bench today, but Liam Higgins will go to 9, James Taylor in 8, and the bench, as I mentioned, Falapuli, Edwards, Tupu and Luke Higgins. That's how the South Newcastle Lions will take to the field against the Western Suburbs Rosellas here in the qualifying final. I'll get your tips earlier today. Who are we fancying, team?
Well, as I said, it's such a big game. I think West, the thing that's been really interesting about them is their defence is so good. I mean, they've had some games where they've made a lot of mistakes and made things easy for their opponents to take field position, and then they just won't let them through. And South, it's really been more about their go forward than it has been about their halves. I think West might get it today in a low-scoring game.
Touchline, Tom, where's your money going today, mate?
Mate, I'm going South today. I was fortunate enough to be in the middle last time these two teams clashed here at Townsend, and West, they were in all sorts during the game. They were arguing with each other. They just couldn't get it together until the final minute, so I think South will get them today.
Okay, Tom Taylor heading to South. Okay, well, South, as we said, they haven't lost a game since the 26th of June, so let's go through the Western Suburbs Rosellas side. At fullback is Callan Richardson. On the wings is Ryan Lamb and also Willis Alatini. The centre pairings of Simon Williams and Brad Tye. Joel Brown in 6, Jade Porter in 7, Mark Tafua in 8, Chris Knight in 9, Finn in 10, Manson 11, Herman 12 and Warren Shillings locking the scrum. The interchange bench for the Rosellas, Ryan Petro, Mark Farah, Sam Keenan and Jermaine Ale. Of course, they're coached by Steve Story. So here they come now. South Newcastle Lions, they're about to come out on the field. The crowd getting excited. It's been a while since we've had an elimination, a quarter-final match here at Townsend Oval. But here comes Todd Hurrell leading out his proud Lions.
Well, good atmosphere already around here. Of course, we've just had South playing Western Suburbs in reserve grade. So we've seen a bit of a curtain raiser for this game. But there's not quite as many as there were here last week for Sleepy's Day. But I think the atmosphere is going to be pretty frantic, especially if it's close in the last 15 or 20.
So the qualifying final, with the winner progressing to the major final against minor premiers, the Macquarie Scorpions. South Newcastle Lions finishing second. The differential in season 2016, they came home with 11 wins. They only went down 4 times this season, with 1 drawn match, equaling 23 points. The exact equation for the Western Suburbs Rosellas, 1-11, lost 4, drawn 1 and 23 points. Let's go touchline. Tom Taylor, any changes before kickoff?
Yeah, mate, I'm just seeing Joel Brown walk past me and sit on the bench. It looks like Sam Keenan's going to start in number 18. I'm guessing he will start at Joel Brown's position in 5'8". But however, it looks like Callum Richardson's heading to the side, heading to the corner. So we'll see what happens there.
Okay, so week 1 of the Newcastle Rugby League semi-final series, the qualifying final. We're about to get underway. Let's have some fun here in the qualifying final here today, live throughout the Bar TV Sports Network, as Jake Finn rampages his way back up towards the 20-metre line. Good start for Western Suburbs.
That's a decent carry to start the game. 15 metres after the contact there from Jake Finn.
So back there now to Matthew Herman, picked up 4 tries this season. Knight awaits in a dummy half, another prolific try scorer, finding Warren Shillings. Back to Knight in the headgear. They come now to Tafua. He runs straight into Lewis Schneider, and he's dropped down just on the edge of the cricket pitch area. Comes back there now for a scoot from dummy half. This is Richardson in off the full back position and takes the ground. On the halfway line, there's Knight, last tackle, look for the kick. Off the boot now of Keenan. He's going to send it downfield. Flanagan slipping over as he was able to take that ball, and he offloaded it all in the one move here to the fullback in Sam Cook, who has come away with 5 tries this season. That's Header in his first year here at the club. Of course, his second year in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Played first year last year with Cessnock. As now they come towards the halfway line, and that's Brendan Simpson. He'll play the ball back now. It comes away now to Higgins. He dummies from dummy half before he runs straight into his opposition there in Knight. He'll play the ball back now. There is a stoppage in play. Let's go touchline to Tom Taylor, thanks to Benedict Waste Recycling. What was that stoppage there for, Tom?
Yeah, mate, I think Warren Shillings has just got one in the breadbasket there. Oh, no, it's his face. I don't know. But he's down and now he's back up. Don't know whether he was actually injured or maybe just trying to buy a bit of time for his team to get a bit of a breather there.
Thanks, Tom. So time off here. We've stopped the clock with 1 minute 45 commenced here in the qualifying final as it comes back away now to Lawrence. He's the second leading try scorer in the competition this year, Lawrence. He's bagged 12 tries to his personal tally. Back to the leading point scorer in Willie Header. He drills it downfield, picked up by Richardson, and the welcoming reception committee is there to take him into the ground, led of course by Tim Christie. So Western Suburbs here, their second opportunity since the commencement of the play, coming outside their own 20-metre line. Knight works the left-hand side, and running onto it now is Willis Alatini, an absolute try-scoring freak for Western Suburbs, going for 10 tries if he can bag one here today. Just short of the 40-metre line. Knight again in a dummy half, goes away now to Finn. They come up quickly, good shoulder charge there, wasn't it, on Shillings? And Shillings has been wrestled into the ground there by the captain and the coach in Todd Hurrell. So that's the 40-metre line they're about to hit. And Hurrell's in there along with Higgins again. So the qualifying final here in the Newcastle Rugby League. Away now to the right-hand side of the park, and they're being picked up and driven backwards there. Good shot there on Peter Mannion, playing his 10th season at the club. That's Jake Finn, rolling it over halfway. Back then out of Knight, finding Tafua. He'll run at you all day long. The captain inside the South 30. Tackle there by Schneider. 0-0 on the Benedict Waste Recycling scoreboard as Knight picks up valuable metres. Last tackle now for the Rosellas. Will they dribble it into the in-goal area? Will they run it? It's either only going to be one or the two. That's Williams. He's going to take him on the last. I don't think he knew it was the last tackle. I didn't get that impression, Morgan. Change over back to the Lions.
Well, either they didn't know it was last tackle or they didn't have any plan for last tackle. I'm not quite sure which one it was, but yeah, that was a fairly ordinary end of the set. Both sides fairly steady so far. They're not taking too many risks, haven't had too many trick shots, but South are up very quickly in defence and hitting hard. And as I mentioned right at the top of the program, that's what you can expect from them today. It's the forwards that really drive them on. It's people like Brendan Simpson who are going to be up. James Taylor, of course, had a blinder last week against Macquarie. They're going to be up and hitting hard and carting the ball up strongly. And that will be, if they do get the chocolates here today, it'll be on the back of those forwards and their work.
Let's go downstairs to Tom Taylor. There's a bit of a breeze here this afternoon at Townsend Oval, Tom.
Yeah, mate, I'm just watching as the ball goes out there. Very close to being
40-20.
It is a 40-20. I thought it might have been out on the full at first.
It was a
But
close
no,
run thing.
Very close. I'm just watching on the far side of the screen for South Newcastle, their halfback, Rex Johnson. He was a mid-season recruit, and his line speed in defence...
Oh, hang on. There's trouble here. That was
just a bit of dodgeball,
That
mate.
was Rex Johnson, who very unwisely, as we see the replay of the kick here from Willie, had a beautiful kick about half an inch inside the line. Richardson wasn't even bothering with it, had it pegged as being dead out on the full. But Rex Johnson, obviously pretty brave, hurling the ball at Jake Finn there.
Out of all the people you can throw the ball at, Morgan.
Indeed.
So this is Simpson. They're 2 metres away from the Rosellas goal line. Looking for first points here in the qualifying final. Through the hands of Johnson, giving it away this time to Todd Hurrell. Trying to beat Finn, but comes to Tafua, and they drop him on his back. So 5 metres away from the goal line here. Great attacking opportunity. Ball's picked up by the Lions. Did it go backwards, Tom? Let's go downstairs to you.
No, it's definitely gone forward, mate. The ball's gone forward, but unfortunately Willie Hedder went forward at a faster speed, so it makes it look like it goes backwards, but it still went forward.
So get in contact with us on Twitter this afternoon as well, at Bar TV Sports. Let us know where you're watching the qualifying final of the Newcastle Rugby League Series. Morgan Campbell in the commentary box, and Tom Taylor down on the touchline, thanks to Benedict Waste Recycling today. That's Peter Mannion, 10th season at the club. Came up from the Riverina competition 10 years ago. He's won a number of premierships since he's joined the force at the Rosellas. As they're officially known here in the competition, they like to be known as the Bird Gang. The Bird Gang. Don't know where it came from. That's the 40. They're about to rumble past, and that's Matthew Herman, aiming for 5 tries today. Back through the middle. Finn trying to spin away there from Todd Hurrell.
Big sign of intent there from Todd Hurrell, the captain, getting up in Jake Finn's face there. Jake Finn's the main man for this Western Suburbs forward pack, which is quite a good big claim considering some of the weapons they've got. But if they can contain him, they'll go a long way to winning the game. And Todd Hurrell's taken it into his own hands early on.
So Flanagan running.
Hasn't he had a year, Jared Flanagan? He's top of the try scorers, of course, with I think about 14. But doing his bit of work out of the red zone as well. He's been tremendous for South this year.
They're trying to trap Souths here. Well down inside their own 20. Brendan Simpson tries to get out of the Lions' cage, one might say. They're about to hit the 40-metre line. 8 minutes gone here in the qualifying final. Outside the 40, they're looking for their winger. It was going to be a smart play if the winger was able to get it in, Jared Flanagan. But now they're just going to turn it back here through the scrum on the halfway line, Morgan.
Well, interesting sign again of what they might be thinking here, South. I don't think West would have been expecting that 10 minutes in. The chip kick over to the wing. I mean, it's a great play if it works. If not, you look like a bit of a goose. But I think they'll need to stick with those sort of tactics. West defence is so good that I think they're going to have to do a few things like that to break them.
Let's go downstairs to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, mate, I was just standing near the West bench for that one, and they were just screaming at Willie Alatini then to drop back early because they knew that Willie Hedder was going to try another 40-20. Willie Hedder, being the smart man he is, knew that this was happening, so he just decided to do a little crossfield chip as play goes down the far side.
And that's Richardson out there. Awfully close a touch. Now to Mannion. That's the 30-metre line he's hit. Back to Knight. Away to Finn. Out the back to Porter. Now to Brad Tye. Tye's through the gap. He beats one. He beats two. He's still going. And he will held. 4 metres out. The number 4. Brad Tye in the competition from the Gold Coast Titans. There's a chance. Denied. Great scrambling defence there from the Lions. Western Suburbs still got the ball. Porter turning it back to Mannion. The ball's on the ground.
6 again, mate.
6 more tackles, thanks, Tom. That's Richardson. Lions on the goal line. Back to Finn. Charges into the shoulder of Higgins. So Chris Knight, away to Porter. Now to Herman. He's trapped. Only a metre short. Porter again. He wants it. He's got it. Back to Shillings. Taken down there by Hurrell. Along there with Higgins. Back to Knight. He got it from Finn. Out the back. There's a chance here. Can they scramble the Lions? Tremendous effort from the South Newcastle Lions thus far. It's still on. Finn straight through offloads. And there's the first try to Callan Richardson. Well, there was too much pressure in the end there from the Lions.
Well, that was a lovely bit of play there by, I think, Sam Keenan jumping out of dummy half, throwing the flick past. The set had just got away from them a little bit. They started off very brightly. They had that 6 to go. They were throwing a lot at them. And then all of a sudden the momentum really slowed down. But Keenan, it was just a bit of class out of dummy half, finding the flick pass as we see here. That's Keenan in 18, just drawing the man and with a real bit of skill there. And Callan Richardson good enough to know where he needed to be and goes over for the first try. And, well, both sides have had their chances in this first 10 minutes. Both sides have had a few sets on the other's line, and it's West who have come up with the points.
Tom, they were just building too much pressure there, the Rosellas.
Yeah, mate. I just something had to give there with the South's defence. I don't think that recount hurt them. I think that recount hurt them a lot. They just sort of had to make 12 straight tackles, and unfortunately at the back end of that, West were able to punch through and score.
So Sam Keenan. Can he convert? Just sprays it to the left-hand side. So after 12 minutes here on the Benedict Waste Recycling scoreboard, Western Suburbs have been able to score the first points here today and lead the home side in the qualifying final by 4 points to 0. Let's go back down to the touchline. Any news from the benches, Tom?
No, mate, benches are pretty quiet at the moment, pretty composed. I just want to say this touch judge on my side is just lightning bolt quick. We had the touch judge fastest over 40 yesterday. I'd say this one here, Dylan Clark's is fastest over 100.
Tom Taylor. Great to have him in the commentary box here this afternoon and right throughout the NRL Final Series of 2016. Of course, our interstate viewers probably wouldn't know, but Tom's a first-grade referee in our competition. As this is Richardson going across field, looking to link up there with Shillings. Ball pilled, yeah, thanks, Tom. We saw that too from up here in the grandstand, but you would have had a bird's eye view down there on the touchline.
Yeah, mate, Shillo had that ball out the back. It looked like he was, we got a penalty. First penalty of the game, I think this one is. Looks like it was a bit of a push in the ruck.
I was just noticing that. John Taylor seems as though he's wanted to just let things flow in the first 12 or so minutes. There hasn't been a penalty. So he's obviously either very happy with how things have been going or just letting these sides work each other out.
Okay, so South Newcastle Lions, they came down here only moments ago. They'll hate to come away this time in a similar position. Higgins in a dummy half. Goes short. That's James Taylor looking for his second try of the season. So Higgins again in a dummy half, fires it away to Hurrell, away to Header, great ball. Unfortunately, it was too much of a good ball. It was fired too hard, Tom, as we go back down to the touchline to you.
A lot of people might be thinking, why isn't this play on? Unfortunately, it did ricochet off a West player's leg, and then a player who was offside picked it up. So we're playing the first infringement, which was the South's knock-on. We'll have a scrum to West.
Geez, that was on there, Pete. That was well and truly on. And he knew it too, Ben Roos. He put it down. He was through the gap. He was coming at great speed off the back fence there. If he holds that, I'd say he'd be under the posts. One of the interesting things, of course, about South is, and you can see it in the try scorers list, is that on balance they go a lot to the right-hand side because Jake Lawrence has scored about 11 tries this year. Jared Flanagan's the top try scorer in the competition. So you're going to see them attack the right a lot. On that occasion, they went back to the left. And maybe they're just trying to double bluff West here by using the left a lot early in the game.
In 19s today, Central too good for South by 34 points to 4. In open grade, Lakes 28,
Curry
30, yeah, and we'll get the reserve grade score shortly.
Highly dramatic game, that open grade game by all reports.
So they hit the 40-metre line here, Western Suburbs. Both of these sides eyeing off the Macquarie Scorpions. next week. That's Jake Finn. Hard to put him on the ground. Finally accomplished by Todd Hurrell. Of course, Todd Hurrell exiting the captain coach role next year. Ben Ross taking over here at the club. A lot of NRL experience from Ross. Played for the Knights as well. Had a stint over in the UK. As Sam Cook gets a play quickly back to Heta. And he rolls it forward to the halfway line here. So we've got 15 minutes elapsed here on Sunday afternoon football. Week 1 of the Newcastle Rugby League semi-final series. Now to Brendan Simpson. Liam Higgins goes out wide. Running into a gap is Tim Christie. He's through. He'll take on Richardson and score. Well, we've got a match. 4 all kick to come.
Well, you can't coach against pace, can you, Peter? I mean, Tim Christie there wasn't a great deal on. All the markers were square with each other. They didn't have an overlap or anything like that. But Tim Christie was just too quick off the mark and left him standing. That was just raw pace, a little bit of footwork, and he was gone. That was great play. And South, well, they dearly needed that. They haven't been able to get their attack going. Well, they have now.
That was lightning quick. As we have a look on the replay, then we'll come downstairs to Tom.
Well, you see, I mean, Simon Williams, he's no slouch in defence, and B, he's not a slowpoke. But Tim Christie there, as you can see here, there wasn't anything on. He was just able to get to his outside shoulder, turn the pace on, and it was all over before Simon Williams knew what was happening.
Blistering pace for South's first try, Tom.
Yeah, mate, it could be said that Tim Christie pulled a Simon Williams on Simon Williams.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly the sort of thing.
Williams is known for doing those in and away type things.
He's been doing that sort of thing all year. You get him one-on-one, he just goes past them, and yeah, I suspect he'll be smarting somewhat to have it done back to him.
Bit of revenge, I think, because the last time they played here, Simon Williams did the in and away on Tim Christie and managed to score the game-drawing try.
That's right.
So that was Tim Christie's 7th try this year. Had an absolute blinder last week, Christie. Picked up a try when we were here as well. So he's got back-to-back tries in 2 weeks at the vital stage of the season.
Pace is just one of those things, isn't it? You know, a player with speed, there's nothing. At times, there's just nothing you can do about it. If he's too quick, he's too quick, and that was the case there.
So William Hedder to convert from the touchline, bringing it back around. He's got it. What a kick! William Hedder converts from the touchline. That's his 54th goal and 140 personal points this season.
You should be able to hear, viewers should be able to hear through our effects mics here, there's plenty of racket being made up in this grandstand. It's very well populated, and there's plenty of people up on the hill and around the fence as well. So this is going to be a really good atmosphere this afternoon, and already is, as we see South bring it back off their own line here and absolutely belting into them. James Taylor.
Tom, as we go back downstairs to you, mate, I reckon we've got over 1,500 people in here today. A great turnout here in Merriweather.
Yeah, mate, 1,500 maybe. Sounds like 15,000 though. It is just deafening, this crowd here today, especially at the southern end. And we've got another penalty. Every time I seem to talk, we've got a penalty. I should stop talking. High tackle here.
Well, chance for a bit of momentum here for South. Willie Hedder's going to hoof this into touch. And on the back of one try, they can really put it on West here. Starting a set 35 out. I'd say they might go to Tim Christie again, especially from this position.
So both of these sides in red-hot form. The Lions, as I said at the top of the show, they haven't lost a match since the 26th of June when they fell the Lakes. In a similar situation for Western Suburbs. They haven't lost a match since June 25. So it's foreign territory for losing for both of these sides.
Forward pass, Pete.
Forward pass here. Thanks, Tom. Tom's down the sideline for Benedict Waste Recycling. Mate, I'm just looking across to the eastern side of the ground. Those flags are really blowing in the wind here this afternoon.
Yeah, mate, it is pretty windy here today.
Which way do you think, which side would it affect in the first half, mate?
I don't know. I think it seems to be blowing towards us. It's a bit crossfield wind going there. I think it was in the direction of Willie Hedder's 40-20, so might have been a bit of aid for him. So we might see a bit of West trying a 40-20 in the second half as well. So
topbetter.com.au, our sports broadcast partner at Bar TV. I'd like to thank them for their association throughout the entire year. And of course, the official sponsor of the Newcastle Rugby League. Tui's for their ongoing support. That's Tafua, former NRL player at the Sharks. He's come back here to play out his rugby league career with Western Suburbs as Mannion rolls it to the 40-metre mark. Johnson getting off. That's Knight. Turning it away now to Shillings. Centre of the field, eastern side. Keenan. He's going to put in a kick up high in the air. No pressure whatsoever in the end. Took it as cool as a cucumber. Let's go back down to the touchline. Tom Taylor.
Sam Cook has spilled the ball here. We're going to have West with some good field position and a great opportunity to get it on the board again.
Well, I mentioned in the call he took it as cool as a cucumber, but unfortunately I didn't see the error.
Commentator's curse.
Mate, there's a what, and that swirling breeze may have come into it there. So they're going to have a scrum being put down. 10 metres out centre field. 20 minutes gone here in the qualifying final. And South's leading by 6 points to 4. A huge crowd assembled around our outside broadcast box. And it's good for the game. Matt Harris here today. He was at Lakes yesterday, along with Pam. So it's great to see the administrators here. That's Ty, bashing and barging his way into Schneider. So 2 metres away from the line. Alatini calling for a quick play to ball. Fires it back then out to Finn. He'll roll, he'll hit. And he'll hit the ground there. Finally by Taylor. Knight again, does a 360. Comes back to the right-hand side, looking for Richardson. That's him now. And takes a shot there of Hurrell. He wants a quick play to ball. Doesn't quite come his way. Back to Tafua. He'll hit the line and look to offload. Hurrell shuts him down. Knight again, looking for their second try here, Western Suburbs. Richardson, he's going to get down low, but Christie's coming over the top and they push him back to the 10-metre line. So 6 points to 4. Sunday afternoon football. Knight, he puts one into the end goal area. Can they trap them in goal? No, they can't. Great work by Cook to get back into the field of play.
Well, that was another pretty ordinary set there. As we see, there's a stoppage. Oh, there's a report here. I think the linesman's getting involved.
Tom, what can you tell us down on the touchline?
I just saw him myself. I think Brendan Callender's seen a bit of foul play in the back play, so he's just come on flag up. Well, are we able to hear the referees and understand what's going on here, or
can you lip read?
Not
I can try.
Not from this distance. This will be interesting. I mean, that was a fairly ordinary set there from West. I can't imagine the idea was for Chris Knight to get it on the last tackle.
No, I can't.
I mean, they've scored one try, and that was a nice play out of dummy half. But their backline is not quite coming together so far. There's not a lot of set plays being put on, and they're pretty content to just bash it up through the forwards. So it's a bit of a worry for them. Their attacks going that way. As we're going to see a penalty here to Western Suburbs for what appears to be an elbow.
It looks like an elbow there, Tom.
I'm guessing this could have been after the Chris Knight pass from dummy half. I think the South's number 11 has just come in and maybe put a bit of a late shot on him. That's the only thing I can think of.
Well, what an opportunity. I mean, they've just worked their way through a set and got away with it. Now they've got to wear another one. Huge chance here for West. This will be crushing.
Keenan. Richardson. Looking around. Oh, he's thrown it to South.
Well, I think in retrospect you'll feel he didn't need to throw that really, Callan Richardson. I could see what he was trying to do. But second tackle, they've turned it over again, so South escape. But he's a real danger coming up into the line. I must say I like him at fullback, I think, because when he gets the ball close to the line, he's got that pace off the mark that can get the defence going backwards. And if he puts a pass onto somebody else, they've got that momentum. So they'll be going to him a hell of a lot, I'd have thought, today, West. That's when they've looked the best in attack so far.
So South's here, just outside their own 10-metre line, coming away from the northern end of the field here on their home ground here in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. They'll have to bang this downtown. A torpedo punt hits the cricket pitch and finds Ryan Lamb, who's going across field. Nice work there by Tim Christie down low.
Isn't it funny how one mistake can completely change the momentum of the game? I mean, we were talking a minute ago about South possibly being able to really put the pressure on West. And then all of a sudden, in the last few minutes, that mistake from Sam Cook has got South absolutely spinning their wheels, and West putting the pressure on us. We see Shillings coming forward with the ball now. They've got a couple of tackles left in hand here, West, and they're set out very deep at the right, and now they've got a penalty.
Yeah, right in front of the post here. So what do they do here? It's the qualifying final.
I wonder.
Do we go for the safe option, Tom?
Tap and go, mate. Just tap and go.
Tap and go, Morgan?
Well, there'd be a temptation to go for the 2, but they've got a bit of momentum. Maybe the tap is the go here.
Good call, Tom. Good call, mate.
Nighty heard me.
He did.
Thought I was Steve Story and just, better tap and go.
That's Knight. Giving it away this time. They're about to hit the 10-metre zone out wide through Richardson. And he's going to be dropped down here, just in from that eastern touchline. Comes back into the middle of the field, finding Mannion. Cuts out one to Shillings. They've got space out here. Porter, he's got the football. He sees the gap. He got the ball out the back too. Herman did well. Ty, quick hands. They'll get down low. Did they lose it?
No, it's a forward pass.
Oh, it's a forward pass. He lost it anyway.
I don't think he got it down, Peter. That was Willis Alatini there, one-on-one. But that was the first time we've really seen West use the back line. It's certainly the first time they've got anything going out to this left-hand side, as you see on the replay. It's really hard to deal with it. I mean, there was the offload, then there was another offload there from Porter. The South line ended up having to reset 3 times in the one set. And we see Alatini there just fumbling it over the line. But the pass was called forward anyway. But again, bit of a warning there for South. They're treading water at the moment here.
Yeah, he lost it. So double whammy to the Western Suburbs Rosellas here.
West are probably lucky then that they called that a forward pass, because if they let that go, the Souths would be having that for a 20-metre restart.
Quite right. The Rosellas have won their last 5 games in a row. Coming into this clash. Good to see Adam Bettridge and the Macquarie Scorpions in attendance here today. They've travelled over from Toronto as a group. Of course, the winner of this match today will be progressing through to the major final against the minor premiers, the Scorpions, next weekend. All the games live and uninterrupted right here on the home of Newcastle Rugby League, Bar TV Sports. In the commentary box today is Tom Taylor and Morgan Campbell. Simpson, quick play the ball. Scooting from dummy half. Has to be a penalty any day of the week, Tom.
I'd have thought so. Luke Higgins there jumping out of dummy half. He knew exactly what he was doing. And, well, I think Mark Tafua knew what he was doing as well. If Higgins had been allowed to scamper away there, West would have been going backwards. But another chance here. Headed to just bang this into touch.
Tom, going down to you, mate. There's a few penalties creeping into the game from the referee.
Yeah, mate, I think both coaches might have caught on that there wasn't many penalties being blown, so they've sent the message down to the bench to send the message to the trainers to send the message to the teams. So, as we can see now, there's a couple more penalties being blown.
Ben Tupou off the interchange bench in jersey 20. That is Higgins looking around. Heta, quick ball. Lawrence, easy meet there for Brad Ty. So they're 20 metres out from the Rosellas line. Higgins goes for a dart from dummy half, finds Heta. Out the back to Cook. They're going to kick for Flanagan, but the ball's gone into touch.
Well, Hurrell's claiming that there was a touch on the way through there. I suspect he's right, but I don't think they'll get the ball back here, South. It wasn't intentional. Yeah, so
I think they might get the ball back here.
Oh, yep. There you go. Well, that's a close call. I don't think it was intentionally kicked. We might have a look on a replay there, but in any event, it's a great result there for South. But again, you can see that little kick, it's just a sign that they respect the West defence. They're not expecting to be able to just roll through them with set plays. So there's a few little trick shots already that we've seen from South.
I think referee John Taylor might have got a tip off the lightning touch judge on the close side here.
Short side's on. Not anymore. Monsters.
Big hit.
By Brad Ty. Come and get that. Angling it towards the goal line. Ty's in there again. Now to Higgins. Looks left. Heta. Turning it back on the inside. That's Ben Tupou. Did well. Back to Heta. Bit of stop and start. Now they kick. Johnson puts it in the in-goal area. Didn't make the in-goal area. Finds the winger in Ryan Lamb, and he's back into the field of play. He was never in the in-goal area anyways. Back out to the 10-metre line.
Well, that was a bit impetuous, that one, I think, early in the count. There's no need for that sort of thing. Just grubbering it in and not enough weight on the grubber, so that's a pretty cheap turnover, that one. I'm just looking at the ladder here, and points, Peter. Western Suburbs with the second best defence in the competition after Macquarie. West letting in 308 points this year, Macquarie 282. But South have the best attack in the competition. They scored 456 points in the regular season. Macquarie next best with 444. Western Suburbs, incidentally, scored only 400.
This is Brad Tye. Came across from the Gold Coast Titans in the off-season. Here's the kick. It's angling to go out on the full here.
Never mind out on the full. That was on the bike track.
It's gone halfway to the junction. So back out to the 40 we come.
Pete, I could have caught that on the full.
You were right in front of it too, Tom.
I was ready to catch it, but I didn't want to drop it and make a fool of myself in front of this 15,000 crowd.
15,000. I don't know about that, mate.
I'd be interested to see it.
Definitely sounds like 15,000.
I'm interested to see the gate takings.
So we ran a poll throughout the week on Bar TV Sports. We asked everybody for their tips.
Oh.
We've had 65 votes, and Souths have actually won our poll throughout the week by 65% to 35%. And so far that's reflecting here on the scoreboard as we go inside the last 10 minutes of the first half here.
What a big chance this is for South.
So the qualifying final in Newcastle Rugby League for week 1 of the final series. And another opportunity coming up. They've had a few. Are they about to hit that white line? That's Heta. He goes across field and he's going to be claimed there, right on the 10-metre line. So Liam Higgins from dummy half. Irons now Johnson. This is Flanagan. And he runs straight there into Alatini.
Well, that was fairly ordinary, that end of the set, but I think there's a bit of tactics going on here. I mean, I mentioned at the top of the program that this right side defence, this right side attack for South is really their key weapon. They've got Lawrence, who scores a lot of tries. They've got Flanagan, who's a really good finisher. They come this way a lot. You'll notice there in those last 2 plays of that set when they came right, the West defence coming up in that umbrella formation, really trying to cut them off up quickly and taking their time away. So West are wise to the fact that that's South's strength. South probably need to come up with something else.
So that's Peter Mannion getting up to play the ball. That's Ryan Petro. Off interchange bench in 14. Back then out of Warren Schilling, straight into Ben Tupou. 35 metres out from their own line. 15 out from halfway. They're going to kick inside the 40. Go straight down to Sam Cook, who turns it away. And the Lions here coming across field. And McIntyre did well there to make good meterage up towards the halfway line for his home side. Now this is Tim Christie. Picked up the first try for the Lions here this afternoon in the qualifying final. Now to Tupou, rolling it forward. With 8 minutes remaining in the match in the first half. Higgins away now, it comes down to Johnson. Nuggeting little fella. Nuggeting little halfback. Back to Higgins, away to Cook. Now to Luke Higgins. So the brothers are out there. Luke Higgins is off the interchange bench, plays it back to his brother, who sends it away now to Johnson. Kicking it in the in-goal area. There's Tresher out here. Will they trap them in goal? Ryan Lamb had no other choice but to take it over the sideline in goal. So we're going to have a goal line drop out here as we get down the touchline to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, mate, I think Rex Johnson knew that his first kick wasn't long enough, so he just dabbed that one in a bit further and it managed to get in the in-goal and force a repeat set. Good kick.
Oh, Ryan Lamb looked like the GPS had gone a bit wobbly there. He seemed to be going in the opposite direction to the ball. He seemed to have lost his bearings completely.
I like that.
He managed to regain things by the end, but that was a very nervous moment for the West support.
Never trust Siri.
Wow.
Never trust Siri.
Apparently not.
Google Maps.
Take a right turn at the traffic circle, dear oh dear.
So the kick is a good one. And charging back is Tupou. Runs straight into the defensive line and sends Ryan Petro's head flying back towards his own goal line.
He's a bit crook after that run, Pete. It was a good charge, but he's looking a bit sore. And now I think they're looking for the referee possibly to stop play because Tupou hasn't got up.
Good passing game out the back. Higgins steps and takes the shot there of Jake Finn. So 10 metres out from the Rosellas line, leading by 6 points to 4. They go for a scoop from dummy half. This is Cook. Can he reach out? He'll play the ball with a penalty right in front of him. Let's go touchline to Tom.
Yeah, mate, he was looking for a penalty there, ran straight into the offside marker. I think what the marker shouldn't have done is put his arms out. and sort of doomed his side and gave away that silly penalty.
I dearly hope South aren't taking the 2 here. That would be a terrible waste. Oh, goodness me. Well, that's a shocker. And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why it's a shocker. Because as soon as Willie Hedder pointed to the post there, Chris Knight, the Western Suburbs dummy half, started clapping. Because he knew very well that they were right under the cosh there. And they've let them off the hook with 2 points that aren't going to make much of a difference. Because it's going to be 8-4. What's the point of going from 2 to 4 in front?
Let's go downstairs to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, I can tell you why, Morgan. The bench from South Newcastle gave the message that Ben Tupou's crook and wasn't going to play a part in this set, so they were essentially going to attack with 12 for this whole set, and they didn't want to risk that. They thought we'll just take a bit of time. We'll take the 2. He'll get himself back to shape, and we'll go from there.
Well, I think that's a real waste of this field position. I realised that they had a player injured, but dear oh dear.
He's up walking around now, so don't know how injured he was.
So Willie Hedder.
Yeah, well, he's back. You're quite right. He's just walking back into position now, but dear oh dear.
He'd look a bit silly if they missed this kick.
I got to say, if I'm a coach or a captain and I make a decision and the other side applauds, I think I might have made the wrong call.
Just to put them up by a try. Can he make it 8-4? Yes, he can. The crowd like it. Leading into half-time time. We've got 5 minutes to go.
I do have to agree with Morgan, though. I'm just trying to think what a 4-point lead does as opposed to a 2-point lead, especially only 5 minutes out from half time. Just trying to get my head around it.
One of the interesting things about that set, though, I must say, you'll notice the way that the best that West South have looked when they've gone to that right-hand side was when they went there off the back of an offload, and maybe that's the way that they can do it. They've got all those weapons. Maybe if they're hitting it up and then getting the offload away, it's going to be a lot harder for Wests to get their line set. If it's a second phase play, they won't be able to rush up and crowd Lawrence and Flanagan and all those players.
Ben Tupou, he's just copy and pasted his first run off the goal line, drop out to there, and he's another big run.
Well, he couldn't be that unwell then, could he?
No, that's right.
So Hurrell taking it into his own hands on this occasion. Now to Liam Higgins, finding Rex Johnson. Straight into Joel Brown. 5 short of halfway.
Tupou coming from the field now after that big carry, and James Taylor back onto the field.
Good run by Luke Higgins, taking it over the halfway line. Hedder is going to go high to the air. Alatini's under it and takes it well and takes it comfortably. And he's got pace with him on the back of all that, and he takes it to be tackled here 34 metres out from his own line.
Dear, oh dear, I got to tell you, I thought Will Salatini was second favourite under that ball. He and Richardson didn't look like they were communicating, but it ended up all right. And West now with some decent field position to start this set. This is a real struggle, isn't it? Neither side giving too much away.
Finals football on a Sunday afternoon at Townsend Oval. Hope you're enjoying it back at home or in at the club. Taking our coverage today. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you think of both of these sides here. Ball's popped out. Lions pounce on it. Spinning, weaving. They're squatting them off like flies to come out to the edge, and this is where they quit. Schneider.
Flanagan will be fuming.
Oh, if he could link him up with him.
He had about a 20-yard stretch down the short side there to run. But good to see South going the attack straight off the drop ball there, wanting to counter-attack. That's going to be the best way to get at this good defence, to go at them when they're not set.
Well, another penalty coming up here, Tom, right in front of you, 40 metres out.
Just having a look at what this is for. Just holding down too long in the ruck. West trying to slow it down, get themselves recomposed, back on side after the... Oh, and they're going again.
Oh, goodness me.
Well, I don't know what their excuse is going to be for this one.
Well, I mean, it makes a little bit more sense this time. It's going to go from 4 to 6, so that's not such a disastrous call. But I've got to say, they have got all the running at the moment, South, and getting 4 points out of it is not enough. The West defenders, you can see them. I mean, if we have a look at the way that you can see them now, there's a lot of them that are looking very tired. There are a few of them on their haunches before. They're looking for half time here, and they're almost going to get there once this kick goes over. If it goes over, it's not the easiest kick either, it should be said. I just think that there's a certain momentum in a game, isn't there? And when you've got it at your back in a game like this with two pretty evenly matched sides, you've got to make it count for as much as you can.
I'd put a couple of... If I was a West coach, I'd get a couple of players to stand back just in case this comes off the post, because if it comes off the post, it's play on.
The old Ray Price, look up at the post with the hands up.
Well, yeah, well, maybe not to that extent.
So here's Header. He's got the distance, he's got the direction, he's got 2 points on the back of that.
That was a beautiful strike, wasn't it? It was very clean.
So they're up by 6.
Having said that, I don't know that West will be too devastated. They'll come through that period of about 10 minutes of sustained pressure with it only costing them 4. I suppose we'll see at the end of the game.
I guess the whole game plan changes when it comes to penalty goals in semi-final football. Let's see. Stay with us as James Taylor hits the 20-metre line. We've got 1 minute remaining as we head into half-time.
Tom, you've been keeping an eye on these things. Have West had a penalty in this game?
Oh, have I?
Oh,
I don't know about the penalties. I can't remember who
I
gets
just
them.
assume you might. I'm just thinking. I can't.
No, actually,
I don't
to be
think
honest,
I can remember one. I could be wrong. They might have had one, but I would have the penalty counted about
Sorry,
4. At about 4-1.
They had one. They've had one.
No?
It's the one where the touch judge came on.
Yeah, quite right. That'd be. I reckon that's the only one.
Yeah.
I reckon it would be about 4 or 5-1 to South.
It was a crucial one though because it did take the ball off Souths.
Here's the kick into touch as we tick the clock down towards half-time. What do we got? 22 seconds, in fact. Stay with us at half-time.
Matrix moves by the touch judge, then ball was kicked straight at him.
They're going to get a play here, West. That was very strange. South, I mean, as I said, they've had all the ball. They've decided to kick that into touch. West are going to pack this scrum. John Taylor's just called time off.
I know exactly why too.
Yeah.
Liam Higgins decided to just bend over and start having a stretch right where Jade Porter needs to feed the scrum. So that's a little bit of time wasting
This
there.
is a little chance here for West to have a bit of a go. They'll only get one play, but don't be surprised if there's a trick shot.
Richardson linking up.
Oh.
Goes
Here we
himself.
go.
He's got support. Down to the 40. Not long on the clock to go. The siren's going to go any second now. We might get one last play.
The siren should have gone.
I think the siren might have went before he kicked that. But anyway, here's the kick going downfield. Juggled. They've got to clean up and kick it dead. That's it. Don't worry about kicking it dead when you can just tap it dead. And that's half-time. It's 10-4 in favour of South.
Well, apparently there was a bit of timekeeping controversy in the first half. See, he still hasn't heard the siren, John Taylor, until just now. I'm not sure that the siren went off. Now, apparently there was drama in the open grade game because they played. The referee didn't know that it was time off. They didn't know that it was time up, and they were going to keep playing at a scrum. And all the players were screaming, saying, "Look at the clock."
We've had a weekend of interesting equations.
Indeed.
What did we have yesterday at Lakes?
I can't remember.
The lines,
Paint
the
the
double
lines.
lines, the double dead ball lines.
Yeah, the 2 dead ball lines. Well,
So what you're referring to,
that's just.
the siren's gone off.
I think time was up before they played that. So
Yeah,
if
exactly.
West had scored, it would have been all hell would have broken.
That's what I
loose.
said in the call. I thought the siren might have went before he played it back. But
there you go.
Anyway, no use crying over spilt milk when it's 10-4 at half-time in favour of South. Let's go touchline. Thoughts of the first half there, Tom?
Yeah, mate, I was down on the sideline and I couldn't hear the siren, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a fact of the siren went first. I just don't think anyone heard the siren. Everyone was just looking at the scoreboard.
Okay, well, we might have to rent a car siren for the next
Yeah, we'll get a
full-time
klaxon.
package.
Just get the old the bell that they use at the under-6s.
That was a good first half. That was
Are there
really
any
tough.
churches in the vicinity?
That will just
know.
cause confusion, I suspect.
That's not something I look out
We
for.
might have to put in a call to the minister.
Indeed. Interesting first half, I've got to say, Peter. It was a real struggle. West and South both threw a lot at each other. They hit hard in the forwards. They really had a go. And this is going to be a cracker of a second half. It's very evenly poised.
Okay, well, we'll be back on the other side of this. 40 minutes down, 40 minutes to go. It's all in favour now of Rosellas to come back into this match. Well, throughout the week we came here to Townsend Oval, and Tim Christie, the centre three-quarter for the South Newcastle Lions, ended up taking us behind the scenes at training. Here's Tim Christie. Comes back away now to Johnson. He's going to kick. Hayes out there. He doesn't come down with it. Is that going to be the match-winning try? Oh, they've plucked it out of the air. They have plucked near victory out of thin air.
Hey fellas, here tonight at Townsend Oval with Bar TV for the finals of football of the Newcastle Rugby League, taking over for Liam Higgins' spot, who I'm pretty sure is on a date tonight. So we'll get a few of the boys on camera and see how we go, eh? Yeah, Sammy, how are you, mate?
Good, mate, how are you?
Yeah, good. Mate, first sleepers down the weekend.
Yep.
How was it?
Yeah, it was a good experience to be out there with all the boys and good to get the win. Where are you boys going?
That's right, we'll chase them out later.
Hey.
On the run. Flash, you can wait here.
Yeah, Flash, you stay here.
Just wait there, mate. Yeah, no, I know a few of the boys from Port Sharks come down and had a look at it. You know, they tend to think you're one of the best players to come out of there. So, no, it's good, mate. West on the weekend. You debuted against West last time, and you scored a try that was disallowed. Matt, what are you going to bring to this week's game against West?
Oh, you know, just trying to put all the effort out for the boys each week, and yeah, just drama.
Mate, I know you got a good centre inside you, gives you a lot of good football.
Does he now?
And I'm just going off what I've heard, but
I knew that centre.
No, I don't know who it is, but mate, they also say he's better looking than you. What do you have to say about that?
That's opinionated and pretty subjective, but you know.
Best looking wing centre combination in the comp, I think Hugo says. So you know, we'll just flow off that,
That's what you say, but all right.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, here we are, Jared Flanagan, nicknamed Flash. Mate, you got a bit of a write-up in the paper. Mate, I've heard you love the red jerseys on the weekend. All that you thought is they needed the yellow lightning bolt on the front to match your nickname. Is that true?
That's not true. I think that might have been something that you might have made up.
Oh, you make it up. Yeah, mate, you know, leading try scorer this year. Your first real consistent year in first grade, and to come away with the leading try scorer, that's a big effort. What do you bring that down to?
Definitely the go forward in the middle. Field position we get, it's just because of them. Big boys like Simo, Toops, Jimmy, all those boys in the middle, every single one of them. And the halves like Willie, you know, you can't not score when they put you in those kinds of positions.
Yeah, mate, when Higo's given the right side that much football, I mean, you know, you can't go wrong. No, mate, you've scored a lot of good tries. That one on the weekend, Matty Simon, you know, shoulder charge you out. You managed to keep your balance and keep in and score a magnificent try. Mate, I don't think there's any tries this year that haven't been, you know, 10 out of 10s.
But 10 metres out. Yeah.
No, coming into West this week, West have been a pretty good side for you this year with scoring. I mean, I remember the try you scored at Harker Oval, you know, ran the field with, you know, no one in sight. With West, what do you think we need to do to beat these boys?
I think it'll be one in the middle again, off the back of the go forward. But yeah, the backs getting in there helping out. Just it'll be a real grudge match.
Yeah, well, and with this rain, you know, it'll be a big ask for the forwards as well. So a few boys like you, Macca, and myself have to get in and help the boys out. Yeah,
it'll be slow game.
We'll be slow. Get away from footy a bit. Who'd you vote for this year? Labor or Liberal?
I voted Labor.
Labor. Oh, well, that tells us a lot about you anyway. Thanks, mate. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Mate, you've been playing some great football. You know, the Dozer, as you've been nicknaming yourself, apparently.
I've not been nicknamed that.
Right, have you been working on your goal kicking? Because last week on the show, I mean, you shanked that one.
Yeah, 1 out of 10, mate. Come on, what about the other 9 I got?
Yeah, no, that's true. But we've really had a kicking goals and, you know, winning games for us with those goals. I guess you don't really need to, do you?
Yeah, exactly, mate. That's it.
No, mate, so you've been playing good footy. We've got West this week. A bit of a grudge match, West versus South, you know. Bit of a wet pitch by the looks of it. What do you think we need to do to get over the top of them?
Yeah, well, mate, it is going to be wet, so I think it's definitely going to be one up the middle. And there's no doubt West had plenty of experience in semis, and I can't remember the last time they weren't in them. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a grind, but I guess if the effort's there's no reason why we can't, you know, win it and go through versus Macquarie. That's
true, mate. You know, West are a very dominant side in the semis. They've played semis for the last, you know, 4 or 5 years even. You know, who's their key players we have to watch out for on the weekend?
You know, it's definitely, you know, you got Tafua and Fridge, Jake Finn in the forward pack. No, they've always got good go forward. And really, I guess anyone, because they're always capable of that second phase play, and especially in the wet, that can be real dangerous. But, you know, we've just got to match them. Every number's got to beat their opposite number, and hopefully we'll get over the line.
That's true. They do have a good go forward, and I guess with centres like Simon Williams and Brad Tyre, I mean, they've got a great side in the paddock. Same question to you, mate. Who'd you vote for this year?
In that player of the year?
No, in the Liberal or Labour?
Liberal, mate.
Liberal,
mate.
That's two. That's one each.
I don't even know what I'm voting for.
Yeah, it's good, mate. You looked magnificent in the red kit on the weekend. I've heard you voted for the red kit again.
Yeah, I'm a fan, mate. I like it.
Yeah,
slimming.
Yeah, the Mudgy Dragons. You know, that's what they used to wear, so they're pretty happy.
Oh, they're white with red.
Anyway, mate. West on the weekend. What do we have to do to get over the top? What do you think?
Oh, we've got to control them in the middle, mate. Like they're going to be pretty tough to beat in the middle. They always are. Yeah, just slow them down a bit. Try and win the ruck.
we had the same answers all over. We think, West are a very dominant forward pack with Tafua and that in the middle. Big Jakey Finn. From last week's game, the moment that Jared Edwards scored that try, what were you thinking? What was running through your mind?
Oh, I was on the sideline, mate. I pretty much went straight over and sculled a beer, to be honest. I was pretty happy. It was a big win over the old club, Sleevy's Day.
Yeah, it was awesome. The crowd over there was magnificent. Anyone that was here that day, I'm sure, had a great day.
Mm.
But, a few, possibly 2 games left to make the grand final. What do we have to do to maintain what would you say, the confidence to take out the GF if we get to that? What do we have to do to, keep the side together and keep the side eager to play?
I think we've just got to keep playing our brand of footy. I think we're the most confident when we play our own footy, rather than trying to play the footy that we think we should. We just play our footy; it just comes naturally, and Willie and the other boys just come off that.
That's true, mate. Willie had the money bags, eh?
Money bags. Willie Money Mayheader.
Mate, you looked really good in the red. It matched your beard.
I got rid of some of it. So.
Yeah, you've played West this year, haven't you?
No, I missed the first game because I had that feet incident where my feet weren't too healthy. But I'm excited.
So your first game against West this year, massive grudge match for South. I mean, anyone who comes into a comp like this and you're versing a team that years of hatred between them. What do you? Obviously you haven't played them before. What are you going to bring to the table to get over top of these boys?
Oh, just the same stuff I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Just push with the boys, like Toddy was been saying. Got to push for each other, and that's what's been getting us over the line. And for the wins the last 5 weeks or so.
Yeah, that push is good. I scored a try, full field.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember that. You pushed. Yeah, like you didn't make the break.
No, I was pushing. That's what
and
I'm
you
saying.
jumped.
Yeah.
I like the jump.
Yeah, the jump. It was a rugby jump. It was a real Kiwi style jump, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I knew you'd like that. Yeah. You've been here for 35 years or something now.
Yeah, going on 40.
Yeah, you would have played West a few times.
They've been smashed a few times. So.
Yeah, ever since I've been here, West have been in the finals and really consistently playing good footy in the finals. So, what do you think we have to do to get over the top of them?
Oh, mate, West are a quality outfit and a great team. Just give them nothing, absolutely nothing. You can't afford to give them penalties, a cheap field position. We're going to be on song on the weekend, and hopefully we train well tonight.
And welcome back to the second half here, coming your way in the Newcastle Rugby League competition's qualifying final. Who will it be to take on the Macquarie Scorpions next weekend? We'll go down to the touchline. Tom Taylor, were you able to find out any information at half-time from both coaches?
No, mate, I was too busy trying to find a replacement siren. I think I found one here, Pete. We just got the bell going.
Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant.
Modern technology, It's incredible.
We might get a 20-minute siren too, Tom, if you're up for it, mate.
Well, I spoke to a few people in the crowd earlier. And they all said that you could hear the siren, but it was quite obvious that the referee didn't hear it, and that the play went on after the siren, and then the siren was before the play of the ball. So there would have been big drama if West had scored off that last play of the half. As we see, Willie Hedder just jamming this kick down into the corner. A nice steady start here for South. They were able to play from in front. That's a good position against West, because once West get in front, they're very, very good at closing the game down and keeping you away.
So the Rosellas here. Unlucky there, I thought, not to get a penalty.
So that's Joel Brown on the field there in number 6, Pete. Off the bench.
And that's Ryan Petro taking it to the 40-metre line here. Taking it for a run across field now is Ryan Lamb. He links up with Ty, who goes out wide to Alatini. Step back on the inside, Alatini, and he's trying to break free there of Taylor. That's the 40-metre line. They're going to thump this downfield in between fullback and the winger. McIntyre may see this go dead. And back out to the 20 we come.
Well, it looks like Joel Brown's come on at dummy half. I think Chris Knight is off the field at the moment. I can't see anyone under the headgear, so it looks like Brown's going to play dummy half. Keenan's going to carry on in the 5'8" position with Jade Porter at halfback and Callum Richardson at fullback.
Morgan Campbell in the commentary box, and Tom Taylor, a referee in our Newcastle Rugby League, officiating on the touchline for us here this afternoon, as Luke Higgins now hits it to the halfway line. trouble back here in the 40-metre zone for one of the South's players, and of course that's Ben Roosmorgan.
Yeah, he looks in a bit of trouble. It's his right arm, and he got up reeling, and he's not back in the line, and I'd be surprised if he carried on as Hurrell gets away.
Higgins goes down to the 20-metre line. He'll get up and play the ball now. Which way will they come now? It comes back there this time to Heta. He goes himself and takes a shot there of Peter Mannion. So they're 10 metres away from the Western Suburbs goal line. Back there now to Johnson. He's going to kick. Can he get it back? He can. Can he weave?
Not played at, Pete.
Not played at. How unlucky there for South.
Well, that nearly fell straight into his lap when it was a fairly average kick, but then all of a sudden it just jumped up. And I thought Rex Johnson was just going to stroll over there. But they get away with one there, West. But South have started well. They make plenty of ground with the ball.
A little bit of razzle-dazzle early on from South as we go down the touchline to Tom Taylor.
Yeah, mate, we've got some good line speed off here for South. Just trying to hold West in their own red zone until they have to kick. So this could be just what we see for the rest of the game as West spread the ball now. Probably a good idea.
Ty, we know he's got pace. We know he's got a ball game
Sort
that he
of.
loves to throw, sort of, but didn't quite go his way there. But he
6
found
to go.
Yeah, Jade Porter.
They've got to do that, Pete. I mean, West have got to get it out to Brad Ty. He didn't see enough of the ball. The one really good early pass that he got, he looked very dangerous in the first half, and he looked dangerous again there. But it's not much use having a former NRL player out in the centres if you never throw it to him.
It's the truest thing you've said this season.
It's not much of a contest.
Morgan, great to have him in the Brox. Likewise, Tom Taylor. They need to support the ball carrier. Demonstrated brilliantly here. That's Williams. Darting his way down to the 20-metre line. Spinning it now to the eastern edge. Porter giving it away now to Herman. Can he offload? Thought about it, but common sense prevailed. Mannion's calling for it. Porter kicks it in his direction. Mannion attacking the ball. There's a chance. Lamb for the line. Lamb will get down and go in the touch.
No, he's out.
He's in the touch.
Right knee hit the ground first.
No try.
This will be interesting to see who gets the scrum feed, though, Pete.
Yeah,
They're going to play the original knock-on and say that West got no advantage.
Wow, that's a big call.
Very big call. It's a very close one. It's probably one of the hardest calls you have to make as a referee.
It is. I mean, on the one hand, you want to say, well, hang on, if they had a chance to score a try, then they took their advantage. But then by the same token, isn't it great, that footage of them going backwards there? That's tremendous viewing.
How good is that camera work?
Going backwards is great.
It takes a diploma to do that.
Good call from Tom Taylor. There his knee was on the line before the ball went down.
It wasn't Michael, mate. All Brendan Callender there, mate. On the touchline. Very good job.
But full set of 6 here for West. Big opportunity.
So Porter giving it away. There's Ty. We told him to get involved. He's answered the call. Back then out to Porter. He goes himself. He's about 4 metres out. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Within 2 metres. A Lion in an awkward position as Finn.
Great tackle. That's what you've got to do. Doesn't matter how big they are.
They come back now the eastern side. Porter goes short. I think he'll find it might have touched Heta there.
Pete, we've got a South player, number 12, has just rolled his own ankle.
Yeah, and it looks like Hurrell's also down in back play. That's Ryan Petro. He's now tackled about 2 metres out. So Ty in a dummy half. He looks to the right-hand side of the park. They've got an overlap out here. Comes back to now to Williams. They're 12 metres out. Here come the Rosellas. They attack the line.
6 more.
Touched. 6 more. Richardson, tackle count restarted. Down by 6. Rolling it forward now is Mannion. He offloads it, does he?
You just get the sense this is a big moment here, for West. If South can hang out, it'll really set the tone for the rest of the game.
That's Finn. He's in, is he? He reached out. He's reached over the line and planted it down. 10-8 kick to come.
Well, Jake Finn, too big, too strong, close to the line. There's not much you can do about that. They were just a little bit flat there when you've got a big bloke coming at you at that sort of speed. I mean, you can't be flat on your heels on the line, and West just couldn't quite handle him. And so he was able to reach out and score next to the post, and all of a sudden, 10-all.
I'd just like to say there that Jake Lawrence was in all sorts in that set. He was limping around. I think he rolled his ankle before, and West have just charged at the line of sight where he was defending and managed to get through there.
It's actually just a one-on-one miss there. I think it's Sam Cook in the one there. And he just came up on Jake Finn and went straight past him.
I think Sam Cook may have pushed Jake out of the way a bit, just to say go out wide where you might not have to make a tackle. So, but yeah, I don't know what happened there. He's just sort of stepped in a hole or something. Todd Harrell going on to the sideline.
There was a high attrition rate in that set. There were about 3 of them who were down at one stage. You can see Harrell coming from the field. He's got blood. He's got the cotton bud there dabbing on his eye, so he'll need some patchwork. It'll take his time to go off.
Here's the conversion. It's a ripper. So it's 10 points apiece here in the qualifying final of 2016. Just to let everybody know, Golden Point exists in semi-final football. 5 minutes, and then if it's still locked up, we just keep on playing.
So, Pete, we've got Todd Harrell making his way to the bench here. Looks like number 17 is
Brendan Simpson coming back on in 10.
Brendan Simpson, and who's number 17? Is that Jared Edwards?
Yes, it is. Brendan Simpson's a big man to come back on right now. They just need to lift after that try. They don't want West getting a foothold in the game and sort of setting up camp down there into the field. So this will be a big shift for Brendan Simpson.
So we came here expecting an almighty clash. And it's delivering. We're about to hit the 40-metre mark. And that's Mark Farah. Schneider dropping off. Nothing separating these sides coming into this match on paper. And after 49 minutes, nothing at all separating them on the scoreboard thanks to Bennett Waste Recycling. Taylor in the tackle. That's the 40-metre line. Look for the air raid. Swirling around here at Townsend Oval. Mannion, he'll look to tap it back. He does that quite effectively. There will be play on. No, it's not. Let's go touchline, Tom Taylor.
Yeah, just that last little offload there's been called forward, so he'll have a hand over here. Souths will get to play the ball.
Yeah, I think even though that nearly created something for West, I think it would have been more accidental than anything else. It was a shonky slice off the outside of the boot that wasn't supposed to go there. And it's ended up giving South pretty good field position here as they start to roll forward. That's big Luke Higgins coming onto the ball.
Speaking of Higgins, that's him now. That's the other one in Liam Higgins. Johnson setting it up to Brendan Simpson. Inside the 20. Inside the Rosellas red zone. So McIntyre's out here on the commentary edge. He may come into play. He would have come into play if it went straight to his chest, but it went over his head.
He might have come into play if he was 7'4". That was about the only way he was catching that. Dear, oh dear. The big Harbour Bridge over the top. And poor old McIntyre didn't have a hope in Haiti of taking that one. It was on though. I mean, they had them on the left-hand side.
Did you say hope in Haiti? I love it.
That was a chance there. I mean, we might catch a replay of that, but it was Ben Roos who threw the big archy pass over there. He would have had a one-on-one with a bit of space there because Simon Williams was scrambling.
Yeah, there it is there.
If it's a flat pass on his chest, it's a decent contest, but as it is, on we go. But South prepared to use the ball. I mean, their attack hasn't looked too bad today. Even though they've only scored that one try, they're trying things.
Oh, another penalty, boys. Is this the first one in the second half?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Hand on the ball by the looks of the signal from John Taylor.
So there's the kick going into touch from Sam Keenan. They take it forward again. Rambling their way forward. Into the cage. of the Lions. Are they about to come out alive? Keenan. He fears no danger. Goes across field. And the Lion pounces. Brown comes away now again to Keenan. 2 Lions attack him. They're getting closer. The Lions here trying to prevent them from getting their food. Last tackle. Look for the pass. Now the kick. It's anybody's. It comes down the West and they pluck it out.
Wait.
No try. You can't give that.
Not for me. No.
You can't give that, and Taylor agrees. Let's go down to another Taylor. Tommy, you happy with Mr. Taylor?
Well, yeah, I think I have to be, don't I? I think we've got a West knock on as we look at the replay.
Yeah, that was pinball. They couldn't have given that a try. Let's have a look here. It spews up. Yeah,
I think he's called it off Brad Tye. It must have nicked Brad Tye's hand first.
Yeah, I think there would have been almost a case to say that Mannion knocked it into the South player and then regathered it. You'd have to slow it right down and get a better angle, but yeah, I think either way, I think that's a fair enough no try call.
We had a decision and we went to the board.
Indeed. And they didn't get the chicken nuggets.
I think it's KFC, isn't it? Yeah, well, you get chicken nuggets from KFC.
24 for $10 this week at KFC.
I think they're cooking on super gas, aren't they, Peter?
Oh, you remember that, do you, Morgan? Super gas.
Only too well.
Did you get
the day of puns?
Yeah. Did you go along that week and get gassed?
No, it's
you didn't.
Stop it, mate.
They were waiting for you.
I bet they were.
I told them you were coming to get the gas. That's
also,
Lamb.
No, I'll tell you what, that was very nearly a forward pass there from Callum Richardson over to Lamb. But West just winning the territorial battle at the moment. They're starting their sets from pretty good position. And you can see now that's first tackle, and as Alatini takes it forward, they're almost up at the 40-metre line. So this last little period of the game since the West try, they've had the better of it. But Willis Alatini's in trouble here. He's very slow getting up and getting some help from the trainer as he limps back out to the wing. And now Richardson.
So Ty, 7 tries this season, an absolute stellar season, coming back into our competition from the Gold Coast Titans. Will they look to him? They've lost the ball, but it'll bring a penalty here.
Well, the discipline just disappearing here. I mean, they had that, I mentioned in the first half, they hadn't given away many penalties south. They weren't putting any pressure on themselves. That's changed a little bit. There's 2 in a row in quick time.
Was that the last tackle, Morgan?
I think it was very close to being. It was very late in the set.
That hurts you. That, as a team, that really hurts you because that's 2 full sets that you got to defend now.
They're just having a little bad run here. They're putting a bit of pressure on themselves. See if they can hold out.
So 10 points here in the qualifying final. Back to Ryan Petro. They're running away, trying to avoid the Lions at every opportunity. Herman, he's wrapped up. Quick play to ball, there's Ty, scooting from dummy half. We just spoke about him getting the need to get more involved. Petro, charging, shows no fear. We're locked up at 10-all. Winner to play Macquarie. Porter goes himself. He's close, but Cook brings him back into the field of play along with Johnson. Now they scoot from dummy half. Referee says no try, held up. Let's go touchline to Tommy Taylor.
Nowhere near, mate. I think the ball was at least 6 inches off the ground there. I'm just trying to think what tackle count we got. I think it might be 3. But it might not be. I'm just guessing here.
This ref can't count anyway. I wouldn't worry about it. Here's Richardson.
He's close. Did he get there?
No.
This is last now.
Last tackle now for Wests. Brown. Long pass. Porter kicking. South. Can they save the day? Ty got there.
No,
Ty can't get it down. Back out to the 20-metre line.
Yeah, 20-metre restart. We had a knock back from South. So if the ball had have gone dead then, it would have been a goal line. But unfortunately, Western trying to score the try, they've just knocked it on and knocked it dead. So 20-metre restart.
How the hell didn't they score?
No, Morgan, they sort of scored.
Well, I mean, the ball was there. I thought they were absolute certainties to score. I mean, the ball was knocked back by South. It was fruit salad in the in goal, and then the ball was open there. I thought one of them had to fall on it, but they seemed to all get the fumbles. So that's a big chance missed there by West, and a real let-off for South. And now they've got a penalty to go up the other end. That's a little turning point in the game, I suspect.
Ball carrier was just dumped on his head there. He's full upside down at one stage. Had to be a penalty. Like, that was... just had to be a penalty.
Don't you love this time of the year? The closeness of the battle. The sun shining. The Merriweather crowd are out.
And a close game.
And a belter of a game. And a belter of a tackle.
Into touch. Big effort there from West. That's a semi-final tackle if ever there was one. South with a chance to get the momentum back there to start coming at them. And second tackle, West just picking them up and throwing them into over the sideline.
They've had so much
Big
ball
effort.
in their own half, South. They finally get a chance to go back into West territory and put some points on. And they get tackled over the line.
Looks like Edwards is coming off.
He's in a bit of trouble too. He's getting some assistance from the trainer and he's hobbling terribly. He's only just come onto the field, Jared Edwards, and he's gone straight back off again and looks in a fair bit of pain.
That's three injuries they've had, South. They've had Todd Harrell come off with the eye injury. I think it might have been Jake Lawrence came off with the ankle or the knee injury, and now Jared Edwards is off injured.
Fortune plays a big role in these games, doesn't it? There's no lock at the moment for South. Oh, yes, there is.
It's tucked in there.
Williams. 12 tries this season. Will they look to him? 48 personal points. Now Ryan Petro. Tafua. Hard and straight. Right into Ben Roos's rib cage. So 40 metres out. Scooting from dummy half. There's the gap. Back to Richardson. He steps. He weaves. He's got support. He's still going, Richardson. He'll go all the way, Richardson. Richardson's got there.
What a run.
What a freak. What a player. That puts them back up by 4.
Well, that's just two pieces of absolute quality. You can talk about Richardson, but the pass from Joel Brown out of dummy half was a peach. He split them open, had the fast man back on the inside and knew it. But Callan Richardson had a hell of a lot to do there, as we'll see on the replay in a moment. He burst into the gap, he had that speed off the mark, and then he had to beat about 3 or 4 tackles, as we saw. It was a lovely little pass, simple play, but exploiting the gap. Then he had to go past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tackle busts. 5 men stood between him and the try line. 4 points on the board.
Morgan,
and that's a huge moment in the game.
You'd love to have Cal Richardson on Supercoach right now, wouldn't you?
That's about a 50-point play, that one.
Yeah, that one.
He had them bumping into each other by the end. That was tremendous.
Put the loophole on him and get him as your captain.
Indeed. Might be a bit late in the weekend for the loophole, but yeah, you've got it.
Yeah,
but
if only.
But Keenan here has a chance to put them 16-10 in front. I'm loath to say I told you so, but I got to think. I mean, when South dominated the game, all they got out of it were a couple of penalty goals. West have dominated the game in this second half, and they've got 2 tries out of it in pretty quick time, and that could end up being the difference. You know, in a game that's sort of ebbed and flowed. Well, you'd have to say that West have taken their opportunities far better than South have, and that's the difference thus far.
16 points to 10. Don't go anywhere. Sunday afternoon football in the Newcastle Rugby League. It's going to go down to the wire. And stay with us with Morgan Campbell, Peter Jolly and Tom Taylor down on the touchline.
Yeah, Pete.
Who we got with you, Tom?
Just got the West ball boy with me, mate. What do you think of that try?
Good.
Really liked it? You like Cal Richardson?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite West player?
I don't have one.
Oh, you better get one.
Great stuff, Tom. Doing a great job, the ball boys, in our Newcastle Rugby League competition. Mark Tafua is in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
He's not going to get back into the field of play, is he? He won't. But they've done a Houdini act, and now they're going to force them back into the end goal area. How good's that? The crowd goes wild. Newcastle Rugby League.
Wow.
How good passage of play was that?
Well, it was a bizarre passage of play. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Mark Tafua with the ball bobbing around in the in-goal there, found himself penned in goal, miraculously throws a coach-killing offload out the back, as we see here. There's a bit of tunnel ball there, a bit of the Watusi, and then he decides for some reason to throw it out the back, and then another pass, I think it was from, Ale or Mark Farah. They finally get out and then get dragged back. Incredible. And now South with a great opportunity.
You know who's a good player, Morgan?
Oh, yes.
Brad Murray.
Okay. That's a bit random, but all right.
I just got a message on my phone.
Oh, he's looking for a shout.
Yeah, he's looking for a shout.
Oh, well,
hello, Brad.
Brad, if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying the game.
He's probably taking stats, just how we're going to beat the team next week.
Yeah.
So an important message. This is vital. This is Fapulii. 10 metres out. Looking to get back into the match. Willie Header goes across field. Goes back to the beach end. Now he's running out of support. He throws it. There's a try. What a try.
Hey-o.
Jared Flanagan has picked up his 15th try, and that try has made it 16-14. Kick to come.
That's how you hit the winger on the chest and not over the sideline.
Well, you put about 35 kilos on him, and that's unrecognisable from Benji Marshall. That was unbelievable. I mean, Willie Header there, he did about 15 laps of the oval before he finally threw the pass. He was one way. Have a look at this. He gets the ball on the right-hand side. He goes, oh, no, I don't think I'll go there. We'll try it this way. Go over to the left. No, back to the right. No, back inside. No, won't throw that. And then finally finds a miracle ball to Jared Flanagan, who, as he's done for most of the season, just strolls over and puts it down. That was absolutely brilliant.
Just like a training, Morgan.
Well, touch football training, I suppose. But that was a lovely play from Willie Header, and it's funny how a bit of individual class like that. I mean, South had been labouring for a few minutes, and that just completely lifts them. I've got to say, Willie Header, he is a different player to last season. I don't know if it's the way South are using him. They're giving him a bit more licence to use the ball. But he, at Cessnock last year, played a completely different game. He didn't run the ball like this. He didn't show those sort of skills. He's been a great addition for them this year.
Could that be that at South he's the dominant playmaker because
Quite
they had
possibly.
Liam Foran at Cessnock?
Yeah, quite possibly. It is. They look to him to spark things, and he's really delivered for them this year. They lost Scott Briggs, and yet they're as much of an attacking threat with Willie Header.
Here's the kick. The most important in his Newcastle Rugby League career thus far. He's made it look simple.
A crowd go up for that one, Pete.
He has made it look simple. That's why he's the leading point scorer in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. That man on your screen 2 seconds ago.
I might have said 35 kilos. That was not what I meant. I meant about 15. That's a bit unfair on Willie Header. But that was tremendous play, and he kicks the goal, completely lifts the ground and changes the game. We've got a 15-minute grandstand finish here at 16 all.
This comes down to the wire. We predicted it, and it's doing exactly that. This game is lifting in its intensity. What a clash. Thanks to topbetter.com.au. Look at this now. Brutality in its finest in the Newcastle Rugby League. Athleticism from the hookers at its best. Where are the gaps going to come? Let's go touchline, Tommy Taylor.
Yeah, mate, Toddy Harrell standing up. He's raring to go back on, but he's got a big bandage around his face. He looks a bit like Lord Voldemort.
Either that or number 4 in the 8th at Randwick. Dear, oh dear. Looks like he's got the bit in.
Last tackle, boys. They need a good kick. Johnson's going to provide that. He's angling it in towards touch. It might find touch.
No, we'll have a knock.
McIntyre.
Knock on West. We've got 6 again, Pete.
He nearly got it, but it's not over yet. 6 more tackles now for the Lions.
They need to get the ball out wide.
Newcastle Rugby League inside the last 14 minutes of the match. 16 all. What an absolute ripper. That's Higgins. You know it's exciting when Morgan Campbell gets off his bench. Back it out of Tupou. Put down by Knight. Higgins again. Out the back. Angling it forward. Header. He finds Johnson. Johnson steps. Johnson's wrapped up. Finally flung down by Mannion. That's the 4th tackle here. He can't get up.
Wow, that's a bad timing for that injury. I mean, there's never a good time for an injury, but that's not a good one because it just slows all that momentum down there. They had the ball zinging from side to side, and the West defence are just going to be able to take a moment here and get themselves set.
How's the crowd up there, boys? It seems to be getting a bit louder the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, people are getting a little bit tetchy. I'd say the people sitting behind me when I started standing up were probably not too pleased either. But I suppose we commentators need to be able to see the game.
I got a good view.
Well, we've stopped the clock. It looks serious, and that's because it is serious. Takes a little bit of zing out of the match as well, this stoppage.
He did buckle back over, Rex Johnson. It didn't look good the way he bent back over. It's probably not good for the knees.
No, our thoughts are with Johnson here.
I think the only, on the other side of that, I guess it gives Header an opportunity. I think it's last tackle, as we've seen all the twists awkwardly. They're always bad, those. He looks like he's not going to continue.
He can't. He's got to play the ball if he does.
Yeah, that's right. So he's coming off. It does give Willie Header the opportunity to... Oh, he's going to come back on. There you go. He's thinking about it. Header's got a chance here to try a set play. Maybe cook something up here. They've had a bit of time to talk about it. So they won't be rushed. Let's see what they come up with. Jake Finn's come from the field as well, just as an aside, Peter.
So the tension goes around the ground. At South here.
Oh,
back to Tupou.
Cannonball.
Oh, the cannonball. He's on the line.
No, he's tackled first, Pete. Tackled first.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch Higgins.
Higgins is dangerous from here. Out the back it comes the header. There's a gap. There's a try. They're over. Oh, Merriweather. It's exploded.
Willie Header. He's turned this game on his own there. That was a great bit of skill because the pass was an absolute cow. It hit the deck. He had to have the good hands to pick it up, and then he had to have the quality to have that presence of mind to still put the set play on, to hold it up, and finally put Luke Higgins through an absolute chasm in the Western Suburbs line. And from 16-10 and flagging, South find themselves 20-16 with a kick to come.
I believe that pass, Morgan, it might have actually been touched by the markers. Willie Header, he's that smart of a player and that mature that he didn't whinge about it, didn't complain. He just got the ball and just went from there and just played what he was going to.
Yeah, that's absolutely tremendous. A couple of telling contributions. I mean, this is why you have... This is what you look to your 5'8" and your halfbacks for, to do this sort of thing in a big game like this against one of the best defences in the comp, to find some points out of somewhere. And he's done it twice. I mean, he had no right to set that try up over on the right-hand side. And again, with the ball bouncing awkwardly, he had no right to set that one up either.
It's a big hole too. He could have driven a bus through there.
And now he's got a kick to put them 6 in front. Wouldn't have seen this coming about 5 minutes ago, I can tell you.
These kicks, Morgan, I've seen in my time, the kicks from here, they mess with your mind a little bit. I've seen a lot of people miss these kicks when they're a crucial part of the game.
Well, here's Header.
Doesn't seem like a hard kick, but be surprised.
Let's see if he can bang it over and put them up by 6. He's done exactly that. He's brought this entire grandstand to their feet. And that's him on the screen now in his first year here at South Newcastle.
What do West come up with here? I mean, they haven't chased points a lot this season. We, of course, saw them do it here at Townsend Oval a few weeks back when they drew the game late against South. They came up with something at the last, but it hasn't happened a lot this year. Oh, my goodness, what's happening here? Are they offside at the kickoff?
Yeah, they've jumped the gun. I don't see this very often. We actually saw one yesterday as well in reserve grade.
In the reserve grade game. But
wow. This would have been the first time John Taylor's ever blown this in 2016. They would have had to be a fair bit offside for him to blow that.
Here it comes on the replay. This is why we've got a penalty.
Oh. It was Peter Mannion. He was right in front of the referee.
A bit silly.
Great job by Clay, our producer today.
Tremendous job.
Great stuff, mate.
This camera work today is immaculate.
And the producing is exceptional. 22-16.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm down on the sideline, but I can just imagine that it would be immaculate.
It's all about creativity of the mind, Tom. And you've certainly got that, along with ad-libbing skills, just like this man, Farpulii. He takes them down.
They can put them to sleep here, South. This would be a good time to go to the right and hit Lawrence.
They could possibly win the match here if they haven't already. They're about to hit Higgins. Luke's about 2 metres out. Plays it back to Heta. A waiter for Pulii. Coming across field. Now this is Simpson. They've got numbers out here to the left. Where's Johnson? Higgins goes himself. Higgins is close. Higgins and Richardson.
Tackle. One more. They got one more tackle. See what they can do. Crossfield kick.
Well, Tupou goes back. Swanson.
Field goal.
There's a field goal from Header.
Field
goal from Header. He's got it.
Oh, William Header. He's put him up by 7 points.
Should have seen that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Well, I got to tell you, I wasn't expecting that. And neither were the Western Suburbs defenders, but that's clever play. I mean, 10 minutes to go. I mean, in one respect, it's risky because in some respects, it can signal an end to your scoring and set a bit of a target for West to chase. But you'd rather be 7 in front than 6 at this stage of the game. And to take one when they're not set for it and you're not going to get charged down is very canny play indeed.
Peter Mannion was very onside at that kick-off.
Well, big raps on Willie Header coming out of the Riverina. That's where he spent most of his rugby league career. He won the best.
Tumut? Is that
yeah,
Tumut?
He won 3 out of 4 consecutive years of player and tournament player down there before he came to Cessnock last year. And of course he's now with the Lions because his girlfriend's in this part of the world and that saves him the trip. That's why he's in red and white. A performance like that on the back of what he was able to do, setting up a try and now a field goal. Sensational from the 7. From the 6, I should say, thus far, the 5/8.
Oh, trouble here.
There's the 7, of course, now in Johnson. Johnson's in trouble. He's not going anywhere. They're trying to get the ball off him thanks to Shillings.
Well, Chris Knight was nearly in trouble because he picked a fight with Roman Fapulii, who's about a foot taller than him.
Yeah, you'd never do that, would you?
Wouldn't have thought so.
Johnson throwing the ball at Fridge.
There's Header kicking the ball down to Richardson, who turns it away. And
Jermaine Ale,
and this is Ale now coming in off the wing to assist them. So
I think Jermaine Ale's played every position in this Western Suburbs
side.
Oh, dear,
well,
oh dear.
There's Ty in the background, and he knows that could be costly.
Well, it could be costly, all right. What have we got? 7.5 minutes to go in this game, and South here, they could put it to bed, absolutely. What a turnaround. I mean, this has been an avalanche in the last 10 minutes. We were saying that West had got control of their game, and we're just going to try and close it down, and then all of a sudden, a bit of inspiration from Willie Header, and some big charges from the forwards, and they have completely turned the tide of this game.
I'd just see Steve Story's reaction on that one. That's a coach killer.
I mean, a converted try here, it's all over.
Can they do it?
They've gone from in trouble to nearly having it won in the space of about 10 minutes. Remarkable.
So Header, away to Johnson. He finds Cook. Cook takes them on and runs straight into Jake Finn. Back there now to Johnson. He fires away back to the middle. Back to Tupou. Tupou's with inside the 10. He's still going, Tupou. They don't want to put him on the ground. He was too heavy to put him on the ground. For Pouliot!
He's very
He'll
close.
be close.
Oh, short.
What's that, the third tackle?
Higgins a chance here.
Higgins looking around, surveying his options. He gives it away now to Header. They're up quickly. They had to on Schneider.
Good defence from Brad Ty there.
Showed all his class there from the National Rugby League. Header. He now sets it back away to Luke Higgins. Luke Higgins got a bit of a bump along the way from Tafua. And Tafua cleans him up along there with Knight. So Higgins again in a dummy half. He's getting up slowly. He was hurt there. Plays it back to his brother. Header puts it onto the toe. They're coming through. Great tackle there from Cook, wasn't it? Or was it Header?
It was Cook, but that was a clever kick. Cook was coming back on the inside. He very nearly plucked that out of the air. So West here, they've got 6 minutes to go. They've got 7 points to chase. What do they come up with? I mean, this is a side full of champions of this competition. Almost every player in this competition's won a couple of grand finals, and they're flagging at the moment. They're struggling to get off their own line. They need someone to find something. But at the moment, all they're finding is a big red and white wall.
What they need to do, Morgan, scrum line to scrum line, like they are now. Just spread the ball, keep going out wide, attack the outside backs.
Ty goes over him.
Throw it to the chest of your teammate, though.
Well, that's Jermaine Ale out there going backwards. So Western Suburbs, unfamiliar territory in week 1 of finals football, to be down. As we see them going forward, this is what they needed to do as Porter goes into touch.
Wow.
Porter's gone into touch. He puts his flag up.
Well, you could see what he was thinking there, Jade Porter, going down that short side. But
on the last tackle, they ran it too.
Yeah, South recovered well there. It's a bit of a panic with 5 to go, but they haven't got much choice. They need 2 tries.
Well, we've got 4 minutes, 50 seconds, fellas, officially on our Benedict Waste Recycling clock to go.
I mean, think about this, Peter. You look at it this way, and I mentioned this right at the start of the broadcast. The loser today, and if it is West, they've got to go and play Lakes. That could be 2 of the biggest favourites of the competition. One of them's going to be gone next week, if that's the way it goes here. West, if they don't find something in the next few minutes, they've got a really tall order next week to avoid going out in straight sets.
Higgins finding Johnson. Elusive, dangerous. Knight just as effective.
Good name for commentary.
20 metres out. 23-16. Week 1 of the final. This is the qualifying final. Winner goes through to take on the Macquarie Scorpions for a spot in the grand final. Higgins away to Johnson. Great ball. Nice tackle just as well.
That's risky. That's an intercept pass, that one. That's very easily picked off there.
So last tackle here. Where's Christie? That's him there. Johnson's got it. They're going to kick. We saw a similar situation last week. Didn't quite end like that, though. Ended in Edwards' arms last week, but it's hit the post this week. So it's not over yet. 4 minutes to go, but they're down by 7 and they're up the wrong end of the field. Ty, he's got to go back and clean it up off his own line before he straightens up and runs straight into Luke Higgins.
Well, the passes just aren't quite connecting at the moment, are they, for West? I mean, they're doing the right thing. They're spreading the ball, trying to make ground quickly, but the pass is just a little bit astray here. It's just not cohesive right at the moment that it needs to be. Here's Jake Finn. He might be able to make a difference. He barrels into them.
Takes them out to the 40.
Maybe Simon Williams. He's a bloke. Yeah, there he goes. He's someone who can start something.
We did last time.
He's picked up 12 tries this year.
Oh, penalty.
Penalty, Tom.
Stripped out. Ball was stripped out.
So they need to get on with it. And they do exactly that as Keenan bangs it into touch. 40, try 30 metres out from the opposition's goal line.
Good thing they didn't sign Greg Inglis. He'd kick a field goal now.
But they signed Tafua a few years ago and they've got him going down to the 20-metre line from the Cronulla Sharks. They cut out one to go to Finn. Out the back now. They've got an overlap. Where's the support? Away to Mannion. He got it back there now. And dropped down there is Keenan.
We're still going.
Back to Farah. He offloads the pass. Scooped up there to Porter. And he's going to be easy meat there for the defensive line. They're 12 metres out here. The Rosellas down by 7 here in the qualifying final. Looking to get back into the match. They've got to score, convert and hit a field goal. Can they do it? Only 2 minutes to go. Time will tell. They'll scoot from dummy half, but the Lions are there to cage them this time.
Keenan's calling for it.
Keenan's calling for it. Will Keenan get it? He's about to get it now. That's him. He's looking around. Are they about to head straight?
Oh, good defence. Good defence from the winger. They're going short side.
Richardson.
Oh, he's
loses the ball.
We're playing advantage here.
Advantage called, Tom. 1 minute to go in the qualifying final.
I was just standing by West bench there. They were not happy at that. They are spewing.
Well, 90 seconds to go. You're in miracle territory now, Western Suburbs, and it looks very much like they're going to have to go back to their home ground, Harker Oval, next, I assume, Sunday or Saturday next week, and have a playoff. Loser leaves the country. Western Suburbs versus Lakes. They played last week and it was decided in the final seconds. So I'd say the Bar TV viewer figures might be all right when that game's played.
The final four is just so close. Can't split them.
So we're inside the last minute here. 56 seconds away from South Newcastle Lions claiming victory. They have not lost a game since the 26th of June when they went down the Lakes. That was more than 7 weeks ago. Here's a chance. Can they get it back? The ball might beat everybody in a touch. Let's go touchline to Tommy Taylor.
Oh, where's the football gods there? Just give them a good bounce. Crowd were really wanting something to happen there, and then this goes over the sideline. Just a momentum killer.
Can't imagine the coach is too pleased. I think it's a bit audacious going the chip and chase with 30 seconds to go.
Oh, yeah, imagine
7 points in front. Yeah, not wrong. Well,
I don't know if they'll pack here.
I wouldn't imagine South will be in any rush. West don't seem to be. I think it's all over. And what a performance!
Time off.
What a showing from South here. I mean, going into the last quarter of the game, I had them at long odds to win this game, but they just found a bit of quality, and that's the difference between them this year and in previous years. They were always they tended to be a sort of a disappointing side in big games. Did South? You know, they tended to not find a lot. I mean, we saw them early in the season against West. They came out, there were big expectations, they started brightly, they were 24-0 down at half-time. They've improved a hell of a lot.
Oh, we heard the hooter that time.
The siren's gone in the background, and it's all over. The qualifying final is all over. Souths have got up by 23 points to 16, and they've now booked a spot in the major final against minor premiers Macquarie. What a 2-month performance by the Lions. They haven't been beaten since the 26th of June. They're on a winning streak, and now they're one match away from the 2016 Newcastle Tooheys Cup Grand Final.
Absolutely right, and they deserve to be. You've got to say on that performance, in that last 20 minutes, the game was on the line and they found something that Western Suburbs didn't. They were absolutely tremendous. Willie Hedder, an absolute lay-down misère for man of the match. He changed the game and ended up winning it for them, and, well, they richly deserve to be where they are, which is a game away from the grand final. If they can do what they did last week and get past Macquarie, they'll be in their first grand final in quite a long time.
So as you touched on there, Morgan, Wests will now face Lakes United next weekend in week 2 of the Tooheys Cup semi-final action.
Two of the favourites in week 2 of the semi-finals. One of them's going to be gone. That's a big game, and really, I've got to say, a bit of a surprise to have that pair. I mean, imagine at the start of the season, imagine after the first month, if you'd have said Wests and Lakes are going to play off in an eliminator in week 2 of the finals, people would have laughed at you. I mean, it just wasn't possible, but here we are. Things twist and turn over the course of 16 weeks.
Tell you what, Pete, 23 to 16, however, the tries were 3-all. So, ironically, those penalty goals decided the game. I didn't see that coming.
They knew that from the beginning.
Yeah.
Hindsight's a great thing, but that's what semi-final football is all about. I guess when there's when there's 2 points on the line and it's kickable, why not take it? I think that's been proven here today. But look at this beautiful blue sky gracing the home side. The Lions, they're not in any rush, are they, to get off the field here? And why not? What a fortnight it's been. Sleepy's Day, of course, last week. All those guys and girls and family and friends who were here last week, they've come back and watch this side get up over West.
Look at Todd Arrell.
Well,
look at Todd.
I mean, we've talked a bit about that eliminator next week between West and Lakes. We shouldn't neglect Macquarie versus South, which is going to be a beauty as well. Winner into the grand final. I mean, that's a big achievement for both those clubs. Macquarie, of course, got into the grand final last year, but it was the first one they'd made for a while. South haven't been in one for a few years. That's going to be a clanger out at Peacock Field next week.
Wembley.
So we've got plenty.
That's Wembley.
Oh, Wembley, quite right. We've got plenty to look forward to over the next in 7 or 6 days' time in the real NRL.
Nice touch from Mark Tafua there, going to congratulate all the South players and all the guys waiting there at the gate for South there as they walk in to their change rooms.
Yeah, it's a bit of class, isn't it?
Yeah, nice to see from a captain.
Grace in defeat.
Yeah, brilliant scenes.
Better than what he did last week.
Well, we might leave you with these pictures here from a jubilant Townsend Oval. What a start to the final series of 2016, fellas.
Well, it's been good, hasn't it? 2 good games. I mean, Lakes showed their class yesterday. South have showed theirs today. So everything is just, may I say, Peter, bubbling away beautifully with 3 weeks to go.
Tom, outstanding effort on the touchline, mate. Thanks very much for your bubbling performance.
Thanks, mate. Did get a bit cold here towards the second half. The shade came across, but managed to get through it. I'm all good. Ready for next week.
Lucky you brought your snow jacket, mate, along for the ride. Well, we look forward to having everybody's company at home next weekend for week 2 of the Newcastle Rugby League Tooheys Cup semi-finals.